Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, double honor to our apostles slash elders, which are GMS and blessed salutation to you brothers out there teaching truth, sincerity. Also, call law y'all Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash, Barakatah. With that being said, I wanted to go over a lesson is the black woman and the destruction, and her destruction of Israel, or her involvement in the destruction of Israel. Because I'm gonna say involvement because where it's a I forgot the word for it. Basically, a throwaway, a cop out for them and their actions. Their cop out is niggas do this, niggas do that, which is true. So and men have to own up to what their shortcomings are and things like that. But when it comes to Yasha Allah, and it comes to Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the elect, the prophets, and namely GMS, when we what I've dealt with when we're out there on the highways, when I see brothers dealing with videos out there on the highways, women always talk about, as soon as we get in the subject about nigga woman or our women, they would prefer to say, well, you got mothers, or you got y'all do it and this and that, which is just a cop out, because right now we're dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if you go over the statistics of if you own a restaurant, you saying, well, the dinner or the fries aren't selling that much, and then you turn around and will say, well, the strawberry lemon cake ain't selling that much either. What the fuck they got to do with what we're talking about right now? We'll deal with that when we're dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's going to go unaddressed. Now, for point number two, which is a valuable reason, is that we bring up women, or a random subject, not a random subject, but a minute subject when it comes to prophecies and comes to dealing with doing the work on the highways and byways. Women are so much of a different subject that we're out there mainly to address the men. You know what I'm saying? So everything we prophesy about, we prophesy and we go over, it's addressing the men the whole time. And then we bring up a subject of a woman. You know what I'm saying? And then you get all butthurt and like, well, you talk about nigga. We talking about the men the whole time. We're out here for the men. You know what I'm saying? So we're out here basically to edify and build up, or to condemn the men of Yasha Allah, because the Most High says, unto you, O men, I call. You know what I'm saying? So that cop out of saying, oh, you don't talk to, it's just a bias. And that's the problem with women. That's the problem. That's the reason why women are going to be broken down. That's the reason why we're in the condition we are in today, through their involvement of being biased in their judgment. They're quick to defend another woman regardless of her actions. You know what I'm saying? This like forgot the little nasty ass new comedian black bitch. She was on something on that little woman's channel, not Lifetime, but the other one. But she's the host, and she always lusting over white men, man. Even had an article about how Leonardo DiCaprio turned her sex offer down, and it is funny. And then you go to the comment boards, women are saying, so y'all, how y'all gonna talk about her when y'all men be fucking with white bitches? So for one point, you sit there and pride yourself of being a proud black woman and this and that, and you're the one that's doing everything right in your eyes. But then when you get caught in the wrong in a situation such as that, then you bring up men's shortcomings as a defense. You can always do that. It's a cop out. You know what I'm saying? If you catch your ass being a hoe or a slut, you know what I'm saying? Well, you men are dogs anyway. What the fuck they got to do with anything? You are right now. You being a hoe. You say you don't hoe around. That's what makes you better than men. You know what I'm saying? But then we get caught. Oh, well, you niggas do it. You know what I'm saying? That's just like you get caught stealing. Well, thieves do it, or black men get caught stealing. Well, white people steal all the time. Well, that mean I'm supposed to let you go? You know what I'm saying? No, you're gonna get your ass arrested. You women have grown into this bubble of not being condemned or judged. You know what I'm saying? And niggas, the soft ass niggas support that mindset. And it's poisonous into our society because they believe they had the freedom to put their hands on men. They had the freedom to think how they want to think. They had the freedom to deal with who they want to deal with. They had the freedom to deal with a man how they want to deal with a man. I seen a woman walking a man, a black man, on some Salakia, an Israelite man, Salakia. I just say black man because that's what generic motherfuckers understand. An Israelite man on his all fours in a dog suit, which he's a buster in the first place. Ain't no real man to do that in the first place. Might be a tip, on some shit. But I say that jokingly, but that was an Israelite. 'Cause them niggas are into that shit nowadays. But seeing her walking her Israelite man on all fours in a dog suit, and the dog costume head falls off, and everybody could see him. And that's what you do to parade around. Now, you say when a man does it, a man, he's obviously pimping and degrading the woman. You know what I'm saying? So that which is wrong in its own right. And on top of that, it's not. You don't walk a man wouldn't walk his wife around like that. A woman, specifically a Negro woman, walk her dude around like that. And the white people are into that shit too. But or the Caucasian or Edomite are into that. But they have a point to it. The Negro woman or Judah mainly loves to degrade and bring down her man. They thrive off that. They thrive off that. They have a term called thirsty, and it's a whole point of them looking a certain way, dressing up real nice, fancy, putting their titties out, putting their butt out, showing all the goods they got, head uncovered, broided hair, and then when a man approach them because they're attracted to that's what you're supposed to be attracted to, then you're thirsty. But then when a man turns around and says, well, you know what, it's bros over hoes type of concept, but then he's gay. They just want to be chased, they want to be praised, and they want to be exalted, and they don't care at what expense, which leads me to the conversation of women's liberation, where it says the women's liberation movement was a political alignment of women and feminist intellectualizam that emerged in the late 1960s and continued to the 1980s in the industrialized nations of the Western world, and which affected great change, political, intellectual, cultural throughout the world. So the point is, women's got their liberation, they got their ability to become free and really look, you know what I'm saying, be logical. Don't be biased. Don't sit there and say, oh, and try to throw the blame on someone else. What has changed with women's liberation for the world? Only thing changed was the involvement with women in the community, in the political world, in the upper ranks. Women getting more money and more benefits or more respect. Now, that's all fine and dandy. But guess what? I'm gonna sit there and be all the way 100 with it. It's just narcissistic because you women are supposed to be natural caregivers for your children, right? For your families. Look at the ratio of families nowadays. When you talk about feminism and women's liberation and a woman being free and all that, a lot of those women are single, or they got a soft ass nigga that raise soft ass kids that get walked around on all fours in public with their woman that's supposed to be wife to prove what, or a woman don't need a man and things like that. That's the only race. The Negro woman is the only race of women that say that and parade it around like they don't need their men. You know what I'm saying? And fat, ugly white women, fat, ugly Edomite women that can't get a dude, So that is the destruction, involvement in destruction amongst many other things. You got your Section 8, food stamps and women's empowerment and choosing which man they want and things like that. That's why the Lord wrote scriptures in the Bible to where a woman was didn't choose the man. The man or the fathers or the parents chose the woman. You know what I'm saying? The woman really didn't have a choice, because really the women don't have the capacity to think properly to choose the right man. You know what I'm saying? Which is why we're in the condition we are today. Which is why women got 4 and 5 different baby daddies and 3 or 4 different baby daddies. And, you know what I'm saying? The nigga, don't care for them and stuff like that, because you choosing them. This is your choice. You know what I'm saying? So how really, let's get back to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a circular argument when you dealing with the nigga woman. Even if a nigga woman came across as if the Most High hasn't opened up her eyes, she's, regardless of how conscious or socially or intellectual she is, she will defend women wrong or right, because they're are void of judgment. All right, they're not equipped to judge properly. They are emotional beings. All right, so let's get this here. I just want to get this in Baruch. It's one of my favorite quotes, because this is very simple. You know what I'm saying? Baruch chapter 4, verse 6 says, "You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, all right, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. For you have provoked them on him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you." All right. So basically, we turn our backs on the Most High. All right. The Lord tells us to walk in the presence of the light and take hold of it. And the thing that we're supposed to be taking hold of is the scriptures. The Most High put man and woman together. The order of marriage. Let's see here. Let me put this in here real quick. See here. We're going to go into 1 Peter's chapter 1. It says, "Likewise, you wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they may also without the word be won by the conversation of the wives." So if you got a disobedient husband to the Most High, he's not a man of the Lord, you may win them over, not by arguing, not by bickering, because that's a woman's renown for that. Blah, blah, blah. And they call it nagging. You know what I'm saying? And the conversation doesn't mean by you talking to him. It's won by your conduct, the way you carry yourself, being chaste, being keepers at home. The scriptures tell you how a woman's supposed to be and how a man's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, we're in a society, so everything is not in able to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, a man's supposed to be the provider, right? A woman is supposed to be the keeper at home, taking care of the house. Now, women will say, this is how biased they are and how illogical and how void of judgment they are. They say, well, you niggas can't afford to keep us. You can't. I'll stay home if we can afford it. But the reason why we can't afford it today is because of women's liberation. Because you fought the work. Before that, the man was the provider. But you fought for that. Now, we're here. Well, now you need 2 sources of income to provide for one household. So now that that's the case, we both got to work, because it's impossible. We'll be living in a studio apartment, catching a bus. You know what I'm saying? If we don't have 2 sources of income, unless, the man's well educated or has a prestigious job, or, such cases as that. You know what I'm saying? But on a generic form, on an everyday form, a majority form, one job does not take care of a household, man. You know what I'm saying? Your average job, if you're getting paid $30,000 a year, that's not gonna be enough to pay for 2 people. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be enough. All right. It says, likewise, you wives be in subjection to your husband, that means under the rule, that means you listen to him. If he said this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. He said we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. All right. That. If women had balls, it'll make their balls itch to hear that you have to be in subjection under your own husbands. It inflames them. It creates something. You know what I'm saying? And why is that? Why would they automatically react like that? Because they're programmed like that through Esau, through the government. All right. It says, if any obey not the word, they may also without the word be won by the conversations of the wise. While they behold their chaste conversation, chaste is just holy coupled with fear, respect. Their holy conduct coupled with respect, whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting of the hair, Basically, see that word plaiting. I used to be saying plaiting, but it's plaiting. Interweaving, braiding a knot, an elaborate gathering of one's hair into knot. Just putting getting your hair done. That's a nigga woman at its finest. Is getting her hair done to show off. Well, give me a sense of pride. It says plaiting your hair and wearing of gold or putting on apparel. Look at this, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how relevant is the scriptures, man? And then these same women that do that and have that mindset will be in church, or if they realize this is what it is, they will turn away from the Most High and go into Egyptology or some other covering and choose that because they know that the scriptures say this. All right, but it says, hold on, Salakia. But it says, see here. It says, but let it be the hidden man, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of great price. All right. It says, for this manner in old time the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. And this is the cause of divorce. You know what I'm saying? This is not the cause of divorce, but the cause of divorce is the opposite. Basically, the scriptures say I think there's two reasons for the divorce, but one of them is if the woman would not go where thou wouldest not have her, then cut her off and give her a bill of divorce. You know what I'm saying? Basically, what? If she's not under subjection, if she's not under your rule, what you do when you break the law? You go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Or you get put away. You know what I'm saying? In the old times, but in these times, women just don't want to. They don't want to listen to you. They want to do what they want to do. You better listen to them, and then you gotta buy them flowers to make them feel better. Like if you can't fuck with me off the strength of me, you know what I'm saying? And that's what woos you, then we shouldn't be together. You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta buy you flowers to make you feel? A flower is it's just seasoning on the food, man. You're supposed to eat the food for the vitamins and minerals. Not, if it ain't got no seasoning, I ain't gonna eat it. Like you need your minerals, man. It says, now let's go to the other aspect. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Dwell with them according to knowledge, knowing that they're women, man. Like you ain't gotta be, like a rapper said, you gotta beat them, you don't need them. You know what I'm saying? It says, giving honor unto the wife. All right, you respect the wife. This is you are a homebody. This is your domain is the house. Your domain is the house. You know what I'm saying? So if she sets up, me particularly, if my woman wants something situated in the house, I let her have that because this is what she for her flourishes in. If she with children, that's what she flourishes at. So I give her charge over that. Now I'm the overseer. If I want something, if I want to override it, I will override it. But I give her the leeway and the respect in that area. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where she flourishes at. That's what she's made to do. Take care of kids, take care of home, cook, clean, things like that. Now I may not, I know how to do it, but I ain't gonna sit there and say, well, I'm a man. I can do this. I know how to do it. Let me do it. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like you can do it better naturally. You should know how to do it better. You know, cooking, I don't know. Nowadays, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But overall, women know how to take care of home better than men because that's what they were made to do. All right? Men were supposed to go out to work. They were made to work, grind, get their hands dirty. Women are supposed to be at home, hands soft, take care of the kids, cleaning up the house, making sure everything is in order when the family comes together, have everything situated. But nope, not in this society. Just because they can do it, women want to do it. So it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of grace of life. Now, a woman will ignore the weaker vessel part and just want to get with heirs together. It said heirs together. But it said weaker vessel. You got to roll. You ain't Jordan. You ain't Jordan. You ain't Scottie Pippen. You ain't even Scottie Pippen, man. You know what I'm saying? You like the therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like the body. You say we all one body. You gotta respect the body part. The pinky toe can't talk to the eye, or the brain can't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has its function, so you gotta respect each other. You know what I'm saying? It says that your prayers be not hindered. Finally, be ye of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil, you know, cheating for cheating, arguing for arguing, or railing for railing, you know, it's talking shit. Well, you did, well, you do this, you do this. And this is what is happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's not evil for men to set the standard of what should be look, we need to start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Women, well, you need to start from scratch. You know, like, no, look, we need to start from scratch. You need to start over. You fucking up. All right? Well, you fucking up. And it's a circular argument. Railing for railing. But counterwise blessing, knowing that you are thereunto called, that you should be inherit a blessing. It should be a blessing to be married, not a curse. See here, is there more to this? It's more to it, but I don't want to really dove into something that's unnecessary at this point. All right, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I got a series of videos I would like your acumen to see, and I hope you're edified, man. And like once again, man, and I'm not saying this to, I hate to say it because it makes it corny. It makes it like, oh, but you know, you women, I'm not trying to bash you. No, fuck that. You need to be bashed. You need a fucking mallet over your head. The scripture says, "She that is my enemy shall see it, and she shall be stumped out like the mire of the street." That's going to be the result of women that are disobedient and hard-headed and stiff-necked. They're going to be stumped out like the mire of the street. All right. You're becoming an enemy to Israelite men. All right, and that's a fact. That's not something that we are saying because we're emotional or mad or you know what I'm saying. Like, look at it, man. Look at what's going on. Look how the race is treating each other. Our specific nationality is treating each other. You know what I'm saying? And look who has more control to stop it. You know, do men have the control? Do men have control to shut down Section 8 and say, no, we're not going to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Do men have the control to get up on national TV and say, you look, you know, stop bashing us as a family? Well, we do have the ability, but the control, the voice, when a woman does it, it's going to be respected in this society. Because if a woman says she's a victim and she's gotten raped and somebody did this and who gets the kids? Who goes to jail off of accusations? You see what happened to Bill Cosby amongst many other things. And even though that's not Negro women, it's still women indeed that have that type of power. And you don't use it. You just be selfish with it, narcissistic. And then while the world's crumbling, the niggas are tatting their face up, knocking out old men, no respect for women. And you're creating these people. You know what I'm saying? Because you the one are in control. If I'm a manager at a job and I got to say so on how work should be, what breaks should be placed, and the turnaround rate is high, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say, well, the workers are lazy. You know, why don't you take self responsibility for a change and say, what am I doing that's creating this environment? You see what I'm saying? That's what's not being done in this society. So I'm just gonna play a series of videos, and hopefully brothers in Aqua for edified. A call lawyer Bashim Shai Bashim Rakakadash Barakatham Akim and Shalom.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm 30 years old, I have 4 kids, and I've been on welfare for 12 years.
Some people are on welfare for a short period of time, while others take advantage and are on it for generation after generation. Do you live in government housing?
Yes, since I was 18, but they put me out because I didn't report my boyfriend living there with me.
This so-called generational welfare limits the potential and motivation to succeed for its recipients. Many recipients live in government housing, commonly known as projects. The majority of these projects are high crime areas due to the influence that poverty has in these living places. The amount of government financial assistance that gets pumped into these communities doesn't really assist, it creates dependency. Are you employed?
No.
How do you feel about that?
I'm comfortable with it, and I feel like I don't need to look for one because I get a check from the government every month.
How much do you collect in benefits?
I get $7.80 in food stamps, $500 in TANF, and I get Medicaid and WIC.
And as somebody who worked in low-income neighborhoods, I've seen it, where people weren't encouraged to work, weren't encouraged to upgrade their skills, were just getting a check, and over time, their motivation started to diminish.
Have you ever sold your food stamps?
Yes, I did for $100, and I got $60 in cash.
Do you feel like you're cheating the system or abusing it?
Nah, bro, it's free money.
Kiara is just one example of many others who are out there taking advantage and abusing your tax dollars.
Fraud investigators knew something was wrong as they surveilled their suspect. Behind the wheel of a $40,000 Cadillac Escalade, Kim Johnson. She is on public assistance. She claimed that she was disabled, in need of 24-hour care, and that she was poor. Instead, she pulls up to a Sue-Ann's Beauty Supply, a store she owns. DA investigators say that Johnson and 2 partners also bought a house. Together, they're accused of a $417,000.
I don't need a man. Now, I know a lot of black women with this argument and with this mindset. I don't need a man to make me happy. No, you do not. I agree with that. Because first and foremost, you need to know what, again, this is self-awareness now. If you're self-aware, you know what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy. So you don't need a man to make you happy. You have what it takes in order to get that for yourself. Okay? That's first and foremost. So to have that mind that I don't need a man to make me happy, that's perfectly fine. It's when you start going around saying it that becomes the problem. And displaying that you don't need a man, that's the problem. When you out here always talking about, I'm strong, I'm independent, I can do everything by myself. I don't need no man, I don't need no man, I don't need a man. What type of message do you think that is giving to that man? You're giving that man the message he's not needed, he's not wanted, he's not desired, he's not appreciated. Why is he going to be around to do anything for you if he doesn't feel wanted or appreciated? If he doesn't feel needed? He's not going to want to do anything if he doesn't feel needed. He's not going to want to protect you, provide for you, or do anything for you if you sit up there acting like you could do it all by yourself. Why is he there? If you can do it all, why is he there? If you say you don't need a man, why is all your conversation about men? Why? If you don't need a man, then stop talking about men. If you don't want a man, stop talking about him. You have more respect for some man that you see on YouTube than a man that you have no some celebrity, some man that you have no inclination, you don't know nothing about this man, you have more respect for him than you have for the black man sitting next to you. You have more respect for the white man that does nothing for you or your black man, but you have more respect for him.
Merchandise sales. Author of the national bestseller, Liberalism or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. He's former NFL player Burgess Owen. Good to see you, Burgess.
Same here, Rashida.
Now, you say this is not a black or white problem, but it's an elitist problem. Can you explain?
We have the history of our race, my race, is that we've been very, very successful when we were focused on free enterprise and education. And within that segregated community I grew up in, we had a lot of success. The last 60 years, we've had a black community that's really focused on, has been committed to the Democratic Party. That same Democratic Party, some of the black politicians have voted every single time for anti-black policies. So we need to call them out as who they are. I call them royalty black class. They're elitists. They thrive and they grow and they get their power on the misery of the black race. All you have to do is look at every single community that urban blacks are living in, and you see misery, and that's because of the black Democrats that are running it.
We have Sheila Jackson Lee now taking the knee in Congress. What are your thoughts about that?
No, no. One thing that Democrats do, they're good at this. They complain, they divide, and they're ready to call anybody a racist who doesn't believe in what they believe in. They're very, again, they're
calling the president racist. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course, no, I don't. And, the Democratic Party has always been the party of slavery, segregation, secession, and socialism. Socialists are not the American way. We build our country on Judeo-Christian values, which we see each other from inside out, and at the end of the day, we just want to win. So if they really do care, then we need to look at the policies that are right now hurting the black community.
Yeah, you say the liberal ideology is destroying the black family. Can you explain that?
Well, we need to kind of put it in context. At the end of the World War II, the black community was leading the country in terms of the growth of the middle class, leading the country in terms of commitment of men to marriage, and men committed to higher education and entrepreneurship. We're at the very bottom of all that. We have things like these black politicians who are against education of our poor kids, keeping them segregated in these bad schools. The same ones are for the Davis-Bacon Act, which keeps these kids from getting jobs, and entrepreneurs are doing things with the federal funds. Minimum wage, the first thing the minimum wage hurts, and the higher it goes, the best it benefits unions, the worse it does for those non-skilled workers like the black teen males. 83% of black teen males now are unemployed. No one's talking about it. These folks that
because it's killing jobs. That's your point.
It's killing jobs. Well, in fact, at the end of the day, it's killing the hopes and dreams.